Imagine a city that once ruled half the known world. Marble temples, legions on every border, money flowing from 3 continents. Now imagine that same city, threatened not by one big battle, but by 1,000 small cracks. Empty treasuries, generals fighting generals, foreign warriors inside its walls, and a government that could not agree on a plan. That slow, grinding fall, the fall of the Roman Empire, was not overnight. It was a long unraveling, and today we'll trace how the Roman Empire started to collapse step by step in clear, simple language. Rome grew huge, maintaining roads, armies, grain shipments, and public works across so much land cost enormous sums. As the borders stretched thinner, Rome poured more money into soldiers and less into investment. Taxes rose, trade slowed, and ordinary people felt the squeeze. This economic pressure was the slow leak that made everything else worse. Power struggles became normal. Emperors were made and unmade by rival generals or bribed officials. Civil wars drained resources and turned Roman armies inward, fighting each other instead of defending the frontiers. Stability vanished, and with it went consistent leadership the empire desperately needed. Once the backbone of Rome, legions became less Roman. Recruiting native soldiers got harder, so emperors hired foederati, allied barbarian troops, to do the fighting. These groups had loyalties of their own and sometimes turned against Rome. The army that had built the empire slowly became unable to hold it together. Waves of migrating groups, Goths, Vandals, Huns, and others, moved across Europe, sometimes fleeing worse enemies and sometimes seeking land and pay. These movements brought conflict to Rome's frontiers. In 410 AD, the Visigoths entered Rome itself, shocking the world and signaling that the old order was badly damaged. To manage size, emperors split the realm into east and west. That helped administration, but also created 2 centers of power. The Eastern Roman Empire, centered at Constantinople, became wealthier and more stable, while the Western Empire grew poorer and weaker, easier prey for internal collapse. Plagues and declining urban populations reduced tax income and manpower. Over time, civic pride and local responsibility weakened. Fewer people invested in public life or the taxes that kept armies supplied. Combined with corruption and short-term thinking, this erosion of civic duty sped the decline. By 476 AD, the Western Roman Emperor Romulus Augustulus was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. That moment is often marked as the formal end of the Western Roman Empire, but historians stress it was a culmination, not a sudden collapse. The Roman world had already transformed. 476 was simply the most visible final scene. The Roman Empire collapse was a tangle of economics, politics, military shifts, migration, and slow social change. No single cause toppled Rome. It was a centuries-long process where many small failures stacked up until the old order could no longer hold. Understanding that makes the story not just about emperors and battles, but about systems that fail when the foundations weaken. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe. It helps me make more videos like this.